Hey, good Sunday morning, friends. It's Joe. Welcome to my scripture reflection for Sunday, February the 4th. Hope all is well with you on this beautiful Sunday morning, at least here in the Northeast. We have a very nice day. We are seeing the sun for the first time in a few days. We had some very dark and wet and damp days here, but the sun is out now. And it's always a good thing to look towards the positive and don't dwell too much when the downside is happening. And that is a perfect intro for today's gospel. So I'm going to ask you, as I always do, to quiet your minds and hearts as we prepare to hear from St. Mark chapter 1, verses 29 to 39. On leaving the synagogue, Jesus entered the house of Simon and Andrew with James and John. Simon's mother-in-law lay sick with a fever. They immediately told him about her. He approached, grasped her hand, and helped her up. Then the fever left, and she waited on them. When it was evening, after sunset, they brought to him all who were ill or possessed by demons. The whole town was gathered at the door. He cured many who were sick with various diseases, and he drove out many demons, not permitting them to speak because they knew him. Rising very early before dawn, he left and went off to a deserted place where he prayed. Simon and those who were with him pursued him, and on finding him said, "Everyone is looking for you." He told them, "Let us go on to the nearby villages that I may preach there also. For this purpose have I come." So he went into the synagogues, preaching and driving out demons throughout the whole of Galilee. Well, my friends, I am struck, and maybe you are too, by just a couple of lines in this gospel. And as I always say, sometimes we just have to focus on a sentence, a phrase, a word. He approached, grasped her hand, and helped her up. Then the fever left her, and she waited on them. I believe that in these two lines of this gospel, we have what we need to overcome illness that overcomes us in our life. I think I've never seen a year like this where viruses are so severe and so many people are getting sick for so long. As you may remember, I was one of them. I took sick the Sunday before Thanksgiving. It lasted for about 4 weeks. I had a nice week and a half of time that I was feeling better, and then it came back with a vengeance for another 3 weeks. I'm not telling you this to complain. It was what it was. But I found an interesting pattern happening during the time when I was sick. You see, when we're sick, we could very easily just continue to wallow into the sickness. And I, in fact, was doing just that. When am I going to get better? This is awful. It is a common human response. But I believe that what we see and what Jesus is trying to demonstrate for us in the first phrase of that gospel is she took his hand. She took Jesus' hand. When we reach out to the hand of Jesus, we are reaching out to a positive life, to a life of hope, to a life of healing, no matter where we're at. So unknowing about this gospel, I tried to turn my attention to, I'm on my way to healing. I'm on my way to healing. And I did heal. Did I reach out specifically for Jesus? Not as much as I could have or should have. But next time I will. And then she got up and waited on them. Now we might say, what? He got up and waited on them? How about just resting for a few days as you just became better? Well, I think Jesus is trying to tell us here too that there is hope on the other side of any sickness, any suffering. And what do? We return to ourselves. We return to the place where we can do the most good, where we can heal our mind as well as our body by getting ourselves back into action. And in addition to that, when we're well, we remain thankful that we're well and say, thank you for keeping me well today, instead of, I hope I don't get sick again. What we have here is a mindfulness mixed with the healing and power of Jesus. And what we then can have is certainly a better understanding, a better acceptance, and absolutely some learning experiences when we fall ill at any time. Well, my friends, that's my message for you on this Sunday morning. As always, I hope it was helpful. I welcome always your comments and your thoughts. And always I say and mean it, I appreciate you being here with me. Let's take a moment or two of silent reflection, and then we'll end with a prayer. Most loving Jesus, on this day we ask you to heal all of those who are suffering with illness of any type. All of your creation, two-legged and four-legged, can have moments where they are in a state of despair. Bring them to a place where they're feeling your hand, turning into a positive mindset of how they can heal better, and then looking towards the immediate future where they can go out and offer compassion and love and peace to all of those who they see. My friends, I wish you all a wonderful Sunday, and I hope to see you back here tomorrow. Take care, everyone.